everyone, welcome back to my channel. And for those of you that are new here or recently found my channel, I am Gwen. I am an older, mature woman with transgender experience. Excuse me. Here, making all kinds of content. Everyone here is welcome, including the haters. So, anyways, how has everybody been? How was your weekend? For those of you watching that are in the United States, how was your Independence Day weekend? I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I hope the start to your week has been good. As far as mine, last Wednesday I had lunch with a coworker, and we've known each other about 15 years. So he happened to be, I posted in last week, it was talked about last week's video, that he was at the Pride Picnic sponsored through work that I had attended, and he had messaged me and says, "Hey, can we get together?" And I'm like, "Sure." So we kind of arranged to have lunch. So we started off with small talk, work stuff, blah blah blah. So I finally says, "Well, can I ask you a question?" He's like, "Sure." I says, "Well, um, why are you at the Pride Picnic?" He's like, "Oh well," he goes, "I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I'm a big supporter." And he goes, "I just think it's a wonderful event." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And so, of course, he noticed me there. So that kind of started into a round of questions. And he kind of told me the story. It's actually kind of cute. A year ago, almost a year ago, the place we work at, they had a family picnic in like September where all the families of all the workers are invited and they put on this really big picnic. And then the families can go through and tour the facility. We show people what we don't show you. The workers can bring their families, can show the families what we do at the facility and all the equipment, which is really kind of interesting. It's a lot of fun. Um, so, anyways, he was there with his wife, their daughter, and their daughter's boyfriend. Now, his wife is a retired middle school. Um, to be grades 6 through 8 English teacher. And as he explained it to me, he goes, she's dealing with kids who are starting to question their gender. So she had remarked to him last year that, and I had met her once or twice before, there was something different about me. Excuse me, whether it was I looked feminine or she thought I was transgender, something was different. He didn't tell me what. She mentioned it to him, and he's like, no, no, no. You're imagining things. Well, their daughter agreed with her mom, so he just kind of passed it off. And then it was the day before we had the Pride picnic. We were in staff meeting together, and he was sitting kind of perpendicular to me, about maybe 15, 20 feet away. And the shirt that I had on was my mistake. Normally, when the few times a month or 2 times a month I'm at work, I typically will wear a men's extra large or 2X large short shirt to cover my breast. And that day I happened to just grab a large, threw it on, I went, oh, you can see them. Oh well, pulled my shirt up so it was kind of bunched up so it didn't look that obvious. We're sitting in staff, and he related this to me. He goes, I looked over, and he goes, and I saw your breast. And he's like, oh, okay. So it kind of gave him a little bit of validation to what his wife said. So then the next day at the Pride picnic, of course, I show up, this. I mean, I had jeans and a nice top on and sandals, but I showed up as my authentic self, and he's like, oh, so that gave him validity as to who I was. So he explained it to me. I talked to him about my transition, everything that I've gone through, the therapy, well, actually prior to the therapy, about the depression and the suicidal ideation that I was going through, and then getting into therapy and my diagnosis with gender dysphoria, my transition, and my surgeries, and now living as my authentic self. So I explained it all out to him, and this was supposed to be like a 1 hour lunch. We didn't have, both of us, neither of us had to go back to work, so we had all the time in the world. But I figured it'd take an hour. We talked for 2.5 hours. God, it was amazing. So we get all done, and as we're walking through the restaurant and we go to leave, we're kind of side by side, and all of a sudden he takes a step forward. Didn't think anything about it. He holds the door open for me, which I thought was really, really sweet. So we get out in the parking lot and we're talking. He's like, I just wanted to let you know that you're still my friend, you're still my coworker. Um, just because you transition, it does not impact our relationship. And I wanted to let you know that I support your decision, and that I'm also an ally for you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it was so nice. And then before we got in our vehicles, he hugged me, which I thought was utterly sweet. It was so wonderful. I mean, fully accepting me for who I am, which I thought was absolutely amazing. I was so elated when I left the restaurant. It was wonderful. So, anyways, that was Wednesday. Friday, of course, was the Independence Day celebration, and we had my mother-in-law over for pizza, which it was. She was generally good. There was a slight incident. It involved more my son and her. She makes inappropriate comments, and we're trying to decide if um, it's dementia related or not, because she is early stages of cognitive decline. So we don't know. But anyways, so but it generally was pretty good Friday. So that was Friday. Saturday Saturday, my daughter and I went to one of the warehouse clubs, and we're walking down the aisle. My daughter says, "Oh, look, they have purses on sale." I'm like, "Okay." She goes, "You need another purse?" And I'm like, "Well, the one I've got is kind of big." So she starts digging through the bins, and she's looking for the right colors, and she goes, "Here you go." And I'm like, "Oh my God." So I wound up, it wasn't that expensive, but I wound up buying a purse. And it was so, I guess, sweet and cute to watch her do this. I mean, she's going to be 32 next month, but she was having a ball doing this, and I'm like, this was so great. Um, Sunday was just kind of a low key date. It was really, really hot here. It was in the 90-degree Fahrenheit range. So I think it's what, like 35°C, somewhere around in there. So really, really hot. I was able to get out and right here cut the grass in the dogs area. We did our front yard. Yes, that was Sunday, because then yesterday after work, um, I went out and cut the rest of the yard with the tractor. So that's done for the week. Yay! Um, it's been it for my week. Going forward, the next week, Thursday, I'm into work for a few hours, and then I have electrolysis. Oh, I know. Sunday is the the area that I live in. The city is having a pride picnic, So my daughter and I are going to that, and my sister, my younger sister, is coming, and she's bringing her her next door neighbors, which are two married gay men. So, and I met them last year, and they're hilarious. I have a lot of fun with them. So it's going to be an enjoyable Sunday. And then we're in the start of next week already. Isn't that amazing? Which will be the middle of July. Holy cow. Oh, that's right. Thursday's my brother's birthday, my younger brother. I have to think about this. He's 14 years younger than I am. He's going to be 54. Holy cow. I remember when he was a baby. Um, so that's pretty much about it. My normal boring life for the week. So I think I'm going to wrap up because it's getting darker and darker, and I'm afraid it's going to start raining soon. So I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Stay safe, stay healthy. Most of all, stay safe. As usual, like, share, subscribe. If mostly for anybody new here, um, if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, topics you'd like me to talk about, please in the comments section below. Those of you that have been around long enough know that I reply to all comments, good or bad. The haters know. Um, and I make these videos every week because every one of you that watch, except for the haters, um, you're all part of my extended family. And even though I haven't met each and every one of you personally, I still consider you part of my family. And you know, we are we're all creatures of this planet, the same creatures of this planet. So we all need to treat each other with love and kindness. So with that, I am going to sign off, and I hope everyone has, like I said, a wonderful week and an even better weekend. And I will see everyone here next Tuesday. Bye, everyone.